Ground up redesign was last year. Infiniti at Clearwater has given us the 2023 Infiniti QX60 Sensory in your mineral black. This has been one of those vehicles that transitioned to an everyday use, starting with the CVT transmission, completely changing that for 2022, and this is going after your Acura MDX, BMW X5, or even an X7, but that one's going to be a little bit longer than this, your Audi Q7 or Q8. But what you're getting from an Infiniti: increased towing, better tech. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. The new Infiniti QX60 has the luxury and performance blend, starting with the front fascia. LED daytime runnings and headlamps that brush into your enlarged grille that was new because of the redesign of last year, with the chrome on the top and on the lower. Infiniti badging with the gloss black behind it. The lower, you're going to get the non-functional air curtain, which is also in the gloss black. Underneath, you'll get this gray metallic that just makes a more sporty front fascia with a large and dominant hood. It does flare out with the matte black encasing the fenders, encasing 20-inch multi-spoke alloy wheels behind it. 13.7-inch disc that's ventilated. The rear at 11.8 inches. You will receive the Infiniti badging in the chrome on the lower skirt, chrome across all of your window trim. But what I like is back here, they changed the signature touch and they just flow it into your lower roof spoiler with the gloss black. No light bar Infiniti badging that pops out, LED tail lamps, QX60 bulging out as well with the chrome trim to go inside to your cargo. No exhaust outlets, but you'll have a quad exhaust outlet look. Comparing this against a Lincoln Aviator or a Cadillac XT6, those are going to be a little bit more wider, where this is more sleek. They just stress the right styling cues. It's not going to be the longest comparing it to the rivals. It's at 198.2 inches with the wheelbase at 114.2 inches. A BMW or an Audi, a little bit more of a box shape when you're going to the Q7 or the X5. When you're looking at it from the Lincoln Aviator or the Cadillac XT6, the same thing. What Infiniti does is gives you a nice sculpted style that just brushes into the rear. It doesn't have like a sport back, but it definitely has that sporty image that Infiniti get. Raised roof rails that have increased to 165 pounds. The prior gen was at 120. What I dislike about the redesign is you get these fake exhaust outlets. It makes it just too much into the performance line, because this is more for luxury with a touch of performance, and it's not going to be faster than a BMW or an Audi. It's going to be right at the same as your Acura MDX and your Cadillac XT6. Going inside to your power tailgate, to go inside 14.5 cubic feet. You will have some storage underneath the floor, and it's a layout that's pretty good because it's all configured. You have a 12-volt split fold the third row to a 60-40 split, increasing cargo to 41.6 cubic feet. Split fold the second row bench to a 60-40 split, increasing the cargo to 75.4 cubic feet, which is about 0.4 cubic feet less than the prior gen. It is a little bit faster to close the tailgate. Let's go inside, start it up, and hear that exhaust note. The new Infiniti QX60 Sensory has all of that luxury captured, and they back the performance with a 3.5-liter V6, producing 295 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque that's paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission, achieving 21 to 26 mpgs, a 0 to 60 around 6.6 seconds with a quarter mile at 16.7 seconds. And it's not going to be as fast as the BMW or the Audi or the Aviator, but it's going to be similar to the Cadillac MDX. The difference here is it's not going to be as long. It's going to stress a lot more in luxury, which you're going to see in the interior, but I do like how sculpted it is, and they finally gave us the second gen for the QX60. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2023 Infiniti QX60 Sensory as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Infiniti QX60 with headroom starting at 40.8 inches, legroom at 42.1 inches. Throughout the interior, you will be losing some head and leg space. Bucket front seats in graphite, 12-way power adjustments, heated, ventilated, and massage. I like the pattern and the contrast stitching. The way the door panel brushes into the reworked dashboard with the gloss black, and it's a 2-tier, so you get the wood, the Bose sound system up top, a flat dash with the heads-up display, and I like how they pay attention to detail with the wood and the gloss black that surrounds all of your digital screens. 12.3 Infiniti InTouch with navigation. We have the pinch, we got the swipe, click this, it'll recenter it, click that map, and now you have 2 screens. Click the menu button so you can see everything we have: wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM. You can change your different massage, and it's 3 tiers to 3 different massage. Over-the-air updates, switch it into reverse. You have your 360-degree reverse camera with full trajectory, so it does make it easy for your reversing. In the gauge cluster, you will see that it has your front and rear parking sensors for that 12.3 readout. When you put it into park, here you can go through an array of information as well. So you could change out the whole layout. So you could have it more futuristic, you could just have it regular, and in the center you can go through all of your information for the driver. A digital rear view camera, obviously I would just leave it there. Working underneath it, driver focus setup, and you have your dual climate control settings. This is a touchpad. Everything is pretty easy to operate, and whenever you do anything, you'll get a little click, so click back onto your fingers. Wireless charging pad right here. You have the new gear lever that was implemented last year, your push button start, driving mode select, and I like how simple and yet cleaned up it is. Your rotary knob for your infotainment, cup holders, probably about a 42 ounce will fit without any issues. You do receive a pass through here, so for storage in the front, it just makes it more optimal. Soft where you rest your elbows, open up inside, and it is pretty deep. A 12-volt USB, some card holders, and you have a pin holder here with another area to put your credit card or your driver's license. Door panel. It's going to be more soft materials throughout. You get the wood trim memory for the driver and passenger, one touch up and down for all the windows. It's soft. Premium Bose sound system, 17 speakers, a large storage pocket. For the second row, we do not have the captain seats, and I kind of like that we have a bench. For head space, you're at 37.5 inches, leg space at 37.7 inches. You are losing space for head and leg comparing it to the prior gen. Storage behind both of the front seats. You have your air vents in the ceiling, no longer going to be in the center. You have your manual sunshades that go into these soft materials. For the door panel, you get the wood, one touch up and down, soft for your elbows. The Bose sound system comes in the back with enough room for at least 2 bottles. Third climate control setting, heated rear seats, USB A and C port with a home plug. You can also adjust these seats up, so that way you give optimal space to the back, and you can adjust it all the way up, and that way someone like me can fit without any issues. Put it all the way back, and you can recline it, so that way you can enjoy a little bit of a journey. Put it back up, and let's see how I sit in the center. Sitting into the center, headroom is no issue. Legroom, I'm kind of grazing the back of the passenger seat. The driver's seat in the position I'd be sitting is not too bad. I am sharing feet, butt, and shoulder space. I am blocking the third climate control heated seats and your charging ports. Can you fit 3 adults 6'3" right here? You can. Just don't move the seat up because then it would be a little bit difficult. Let's see how I look in the third row. Easy to get to the third row, push the button, and it slides right up. For the third row, I'm at 35.7 inches of headroom, 28 inches of legroom. You are losing space comparing it to the prior gen. Over 2 inches of leg space. You're also losing head space, which is right at almost an inch. On the side, you will have your USB-C port, 2 cup holders, and it's a pretty decent sized window with your air vents in the back, so you can feel everything relatively fine back here. Nothing to rest your elbows, a little storage right in between. You can recline these back, which would make it more desirable for somebody that's 6'3". Taking the 2023 Infiniti QX60 Sensory out for our test run, 3.5 liter V6, 295 horsepower coming out of this 9-speed automatic transmission, no more a CVT. So what that entails is the drive's gonna be a little bit quicker. You're now in the mid 6 seconds for your 0 to 60. You also have some nice charms if you don't put your seatbelts on. 270 pound-feet of torque. We're going to put it in sport mode so we can really see how much performance is underneath this. I like the long hood, the way it projects. It keeps that style for luxury. In the dash, I think they did a fabulous job. I mean, the way it's tailored, you got the wood inlays in between it, and this 12.3 touchscreen just makes a difference. Let's hear it. As you get up to a higher speed, the air noise does filter in. It's a lot quieter than the prior gen. And even with these upgraded wheels, you don't feel any impurities. The suspension is really good. They did a great job in giving luxury performance. It's not going to be like a BMW or Audi. It's going to be more for the Cadillac and Lincoln, and the price point will escalate. So this is going to be in the mid $65,000 range. So if you really want to get it all decked out, this thing can almost go to near $70,000, which is something that makes it almost into the next tier of a QX80. So this is good in the sense that it's a smaller vehicle. It's not going to be the longest comparing it to the rivals. However, because of the price point, it puts you right near the larger SUV. We're going to check the braking on the vehicle. Going to go to a little bit of a hard brake. And it does a good job. Large enough windscreen, A-pillars are pushed back, visibility around you. Blind spots are not really a big concern here because you have your digital rear view mirror and you got blind spot monitoring. Now there is 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. If it's anything more than that, I'd be buying this QX60. The 3 things that I like, well, now you have a 9-speed automatic transmission, so you can do this. But honestly, that's not one of the things I like because it's not much more in the performance. What I do like though is you can option this with a second row bench or captain seats. So if you want it to be similar to the prior gen, you can still do so even though you do lose some interior leg space and head space. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is this digital dial. When you push the buttons, it kicks back at you. You know what's going on. I like how clean it is because we don't have buttons everywhere, even though we do have some actual buttons on the steering wheel, and I wish those were more of a touch sensitive pad, just like this center cluster here. But it does a great job in the sense of how expensive it looks for the front. The last thing that I like about the vehicle is for the driver and passenger seat, it is night and day different than the prior gen. It actually holds you a little bit. It's not flat. So you have some contouring on it, 12-way adjustments and massage seats, which you don't receive that in the prior gen. You only get 8-way power adjustments and you will not receive massage seats, nor a heads-up display. So I think they just did a great job cleaning it up last year and bringing it into this year. 3 things that I dislike about the vehicle: the suspension is the same as the prior gen. The engine is the same as the prior gen. When you're doing a refresh, do what it is. Turn radius, we're gonna do it at a stop point, and we're going to receive about 2 lanes. So it's about the same as the last gen. The second thing that I dislike about the vehicle goes to the third row. The rails for the seat of the second row bench or captain seats, whichever you choose, they are pretty much right where your feet are. Taking me into the last thing that I dislike, they did such a great job with soft materials everywhere, even on the dash except for here. But then right here where you put your hands all the time is all hard materials. It's good for cleanup purposes. However, why not just give some soft materials. You can clean up with that as well. But overall, an excellent job. It is so composed on the road. Comparing it to the BMW or the Audi, performance is going to be in that line. But for an everyday use, you got it in this. And you do have a little bit of performance. So going against the MDX or the Aviator or XT6, I will say this is going to be more in that class in the sense for more luxury than performance. But interior space, the way it is, it's more comfortable derived in this than those rivals. I like to thank Infiniti Clearwater for giving us this 2023 Infiniti QX60 Sensory for a car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video, the subscribe button, check out the merchandise, details, and website, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides. And don't forget to leave a comment and a thumbs up because I always reply back.